Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Women Lead TV show brought to you by Connected Women of Influence. My name is Ana Nieto. I am your host, and the name of our series is actually Manifesting Magnetic Mindfulness. And I have a very, very special guest today, which is all about that in her life. I know that very well because I know her and she's been my business, spiritual, and life mentor for about 6 years now, right, Rachel Jane? So we have a very, very, very
Yes.
and an exciting topic that we'll be talking about today. And our topic today will be on about, for us women entrepreneurs, so important, like how to avoid overwhelm and prioritize effectively to keep growing your business during unexpected busy times. So stick around for the show because this is going to be amazing. Rachel Jane sharing her wisdom. So I would love to start with you if introducing yourself to our listeners, because I know you very well, but most people don't know you. You are the CEO and founder of the Awaken School, where you guys I know are helping people all around the world find inner peace and outer purpose. And I know since I've been working with you, my life has changed for the best. And I'm excited to have you speaking to our audience today about what you do. So please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Anna's client. That's who I am. I've been working with Anna for 6 years. It's been an amazing journey together of having her help me feel strong in my body and having a back injury and all of that goes with that. Feeling like that has rectified itself through working with you is amazing. And on the other side, when I'm not working out with Anna, I am running the Awaken School, which is for people who've been on a personal and spiritual development path for a long time. They're looking for an elevated conversation on spiritual awakening, human potential, conscious entrepreneurship, and the cross section of those things. Because when you're running a business, you can run it from the yang and from the go, but we see it as a spiritual practice because all your stuff comes up, when you're trying to build your career and be that professional woman and leader that you want to be.
Yeah, and don't I know that, as you know, my story, when I live in New York City, I used to work from that very male kind of drive. And, nothing's wrong with that, but I was missing a lot of the feminine ingredients that I know now makes my business be what it is and be more in the flow. And, I
Right.
have to thank a lot to you for finding that balance. So I would love if you can share a little bit of your wisdom. I know that you've done a few master classes on this subject. I know you're super busy because you not only run your business all around the world, but you are also now in the process of opening a retreat center in Loveland, Colorado, which I'm so looking forward to have its doors open next month. And can you tell us a little bit how you are able to manage all this and still have your self-care and not be overwhelmed? Because as women entrepreneurs, that we need to tend to give and give and give. Usually we lack that. So please share and let us know how we can be
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, I mean, we've only got a few minutes here, but I think to get people understanding that massive transformation happens when three things come together, and that is psychology, understanding your psychology. I use the Enneagram a lot. There's other tools that you can use to really understand what is coming in mentally and emotionally through your personality that keeps you in that suffering, that holding on too tight, that just overwhelm when it doesn't need to be there, right? Like we can have overwhelm in my day. And if you looked out here right now, I can see 10 contractors kind of swarming just outside the windows here, let alone in the whole building. I just decided to do this from the historic home in next to Casa Sagrada. And I've got to watch, what are my mental habits? What are my emotional habits? What are the defense mechanisms that keep me in a contracted, constricted place? So that's one. The second is the somatic experience. That is your internal body, the specific nature of how constricted, how open you are through your vertical core, or other people might call it the chakra system or the energy system, and in your own energy field. That is a huge part to do with why people are struggling. And then the third being spirituality. I'm not a religious person per se, even though I grew up Christian. It's spirituality to me is receptivity, right? Am I receptive to the divine, to the what is larger than me, And can I stay in that place? So when all three of those things are unwinding together, you're unwinding these defense strategies psychologically in your personality, you're unwinding the somatic experience that keeps you a little tight, and unwinding the thing that stops you from being receptive in the moment, then you're moving into a realm of unshakable inner peace. You're moving into a realm where you can hold that presence no matter what's going on around you.
Mhm. Beautiful. And you can have like a million things hitting you at the same time that you're still going to be in your center. So it's the mind, body, and a spiritual piece that you teach so well. Is a
Yes,
holistic approach, even with your business, right? Because we are just an extension of, or our business is an extension of us. So in reality, is how you are presenting ourselves that will happen. I love that word unwinding, and I know that the work that you do with people is so beautifully in regards to helping them see that and
yeah,
getting out of that place of stagnation, right? That we all do. So that's beautiful.
exactly. In my new book, and I know you know it just came out, at least to our inner world,
Yeah.
Unshakeable Inner Peace. One of the best lines that came through, because it was a voice of such precision and infinite wisdom came through as I was asking it questions. But one of the things that we were talking about throughout the whole book was the enlightenment process and the spiritual awakening process, and how a lot of people say, I'm reaching enlightenment, I'm finding spiritual awakening, I'm kind of searching for it. It tends to be the terms that we go, even though we know, oh, we're not searching for anything, it's already here, but we use these terms anyhow because it's out there. And the voice said it is less about finding something and more about unwinding something,
Mhm.
because we have the essential self, our essential nature, which is unshakable inner peace in its core, is it's got kind of a glaze over it, a haze over it. And we're just trying to clear the haze so we can experience our life as that infinite wisdom, versus experience it as our personality, or experience it as our body, or as our to-do list, or as our success or failure. And we have to be willing to do that work to unwind where we hold. And people can just do that now as you're driving or listening. Like, where do you feel held? Where do you feel controlling? Where do you feel constricted? Where do you feel not receptive? And that is, going to, kind of show you where that is.
Yeah, and I think that's so important what you share. It's not about finding something, but it's in within us. It's about really taking out the layers that is kind of not letting us see our true essence. And I
Exactly.
am a firm believer that when you find that true essence, you're finding that true purpose that is created for your
Exactly.
business. So that's amazing work, and I'm glad that you bring the book up because I'm actually was my last question, and I know I love the name, which I can't wait to read it. I actually have your previous two books here with me, which is Powerful and Feminine and Divide Breadcrumbs, which are some of my favorite reads ever. And that taught me so much in combination with my work with you. And I know this next one is going to be even better because the title is just amazing. Unshakable Inner Peace and Outer Purpose. Who doesn't want this, right? And then it's about getting off the mental and emotional roller coaster for good. So when we are in that pattern, right, that it just keeps repeating, as you were saying before, the mind, the body, and the spirit, how do we get out of that for good?
Right, right. And the for good's important, because you and I know the people that we tend to work with have been on that spiritual and personal journey for a long time. It's not like 4 or 5 years. They've done a lot of trainings, they've done a lot of workshops. Now they're doing new things. But we know when something hasn't quite unwound in our spiritual journey, when we have these moments of like, everything is okay with the world, everything is amazing, it's light, it's buoyant, and then it contracts back on itself. It's like, okay, now it's not, now I'm back in. And after writing this book, which the first draft came through a few years ago, it was all about how to unwind. It popped me into an experience of this unshakable inner peace, which I had not experienced before. Like, I had experienced it in moments, but it would always come back on itself. And after this, being able to see where my misconceptions were about this whole world of what is it even is awakening, what even is this end of the seeking mind, what does that feel like, what's that experience like. It threw me joyfully and a little bit scarily into that experience of a quiet mind, unless I want to pull it up and use it for something, which is extraordinary compared to what it used to be like for me in my internal world.
Yeah. And talking about overwhelmed, like we were, is like having a quiet mind and be able to strategically focus on what it is important at each moment is such an important key as well. That's why I believe this is so useful and so key for entrepreneurs to be very successful. I so much appreciate all your wisdom sharing here. I'm sure some of our listeners would like to be in contact with you or continue the conversation with you. What would be the best way that they can reach you, that they can get in contact with you, or some of your classes or retreats, or all the offerings that you have and your team?
Yeah, I would go to theawakenedschool.com, and anyone can sign up to be a free member of the school. We have a lot of free master classes, challenges, experiences that do not cost anything. It's a great way to come into this amazing tribe of people, men and women, who are committed to their inner work and their business growth and personal and professional growth. And so when you go to theawakenedschool.com, you'll see a free membership pop up in the thing. You'll see my photo, and just sign up there. And that way you'll have access to all the free master classes and come on to things that you like. And there's all sorts of things that we do, because I love the manifesting focus that you have here, Anna. We have a Manifest a Miracle challenge, which is amazing. We do that once or twice a year. We have an Outline Your Book challenge if you want to be in a really high state of receptivity. We have business courses, all complimentary, and it's a great place to start.
Yeah, and I know I'm there in the community, and it's just you are always offering these beautiful master classes and calls, and it's also the community that is important, because it's people that are like-minded, that are really at a level in their life or in a place in their life where they want to experience, this kind of teachings, and it's just that energy as well that you can feel when you are there in the room.
Totally.
Yeah. So I don't want to go without asking you about your retreat center that is opening very soon, and I'm celebrating with you guys every day the progress, and I can't wait to be able to experience your events and your retreats there. And I know it's happening the second weekend in November with your Awaken Your Impact event, right? Which is the business launch, which is great timing for preparation for 2024 for anybody that is looking for something in that regard. Would you like to tell us a little bit about the Casa Sagrada? I love this.
Yes.
Course.
Yes, and Ana is Spanish. It was named alongside her. Yes, because it's an old historic church building, along with gardens and a historic home next to it. Were renovated. It was a full renovation. We've been looking for a retreat space for our own seminars, because we do, seminars, retreats, all from silent retreats to sales trainings and everything in between. So we've been looking for a long, long time, and we were in this space for another project that we were thinking of doing. It was definitely divine intervention, and it has been a year and a half of the renovation. We open in a few weeks, and it is crazy out there. I mean, it's coming along beautifully. It's called Casa Sagrada. That means sacred house. And it is going to be open also to the public for retreats that they are doing. I know Anna and Lynn are going to be doing some of their retreats in the space. We have Actionera doing some retreats next year in the space. We have a few more people that we're talking to. So if anyone has always been looking for a great space that is close to the Denver airport and close to all the restaurants and coffee shops right here in walking distance, and the Marriott's right across the road. But yeah, it's just exciting because, things that really mean a lot, they sometimes take a long time, don't they? Like, it's not just like, oh, let's do a little launch for our, next week. Like, this is a big thing. And I think that it takes some time to ramp up to it. But going through this is really proof that my book works, because it has been very, very stressful. It has been more than we thought we could handle, but it's just going to make it even sweeter when we open soon.
Yeah, and this is, well, I'm super excited about the opening. I'm even more excited even for me to do a retreat there in June as well. And yes, it's just I see you and Dada, your husband, every week, and I know the progress and I know how much you put into it. This is why this was so exciting for me to be talking about this subject of you can handle it once you plan yourself and you prioritize busy times, in your business, which is amazing what you both have done. At this time, I'd like to ask you if there's something else that you consider that is important to share with the audience that we haven't talked about yet. Anything that you feel could help them, or that has been your experience that perhaps can bring some light into people that are right now just feeling, super overwhelmed about what they are doing. They don't really see the next step, and their monkey mind is going.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's two things that are coming to mind, and they're kind of two sides of the same coin around what I believe spiritual awakening, or the end of the seeking, controlling, grasping mind, and true peace that sticks happens. And one is the word receptivity, and the other word is resistance. And so I think that people don't understand what being receptive really feels like. They might think, oh, it's about someone's going to give me a compliment and I should receive that, or someone's going to reach out and give me some support and, oh, I'm going to receive that. No, it's actually an energetic frequency that you can go into. And so right now, I can be receptive to you. You can be receptive to me, just like, the sun on a perfect temperature day, you're on the beach and you're like, oh, just drinking it in. That's how we do it. It's why it feels so good, is we're just relaxing and we're receiving those sun rays. And if we do that more, that is putting us in a state, with our earth suit, as I call it, in a state of letting go and being able to move to a higher level consciousness and having it stick. So as you're listening to my voice, or if you're seeing us on the camera, just be receptive to me. Like, I am here for you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything right now. You can just take 5 seconds of breath and receive this moment, receive the room that you're in, right? And keep practicing that. And on the other side, it's resistance. What are you adding resistance to? And so often, Anna, I'm hearing right now, particularly people asking me, how on earth are you doing everything you're doing? Because they know CAS is going on and we're feeling Awaken Your Impact. And I just had a book launch. They're like, what on earth is going on? And I've just done, 2 events recently for other people. And it's because I don't add much resistance to what's happening. And when you think about resistance, oh, that shouldn't be happening, or, oh, that's terrible, or, oh, that's, or that's good and I want that to stay. I don't want it to leave. And all that kind of stuff that I was doing, it adds tiredness to the system. It adds pressure to the system. It adds mental. And that's what makes people not be able to manifest, as you would say, create what they want, because they're adding all of this. So right now you can just be like, can I just let go of any resistance that I'm putting toward what I'm doing, the email or the setting up of whatever, or the grout color I'm supposed to be choosing this morning when they really should have chosen it weeks ago. Like, it's what's happening, and we all hear it, but it's another thing to experience it and train yourself to be receptive and non-resistant. You're going to be 90% of the way there.
Yeah, so beautifully said. And I love that exercise of being in receptive mode or being in resistant mode. And we all know when we are in one and the other, because our body feels it, right?
Totally.
Or we are not. We are actually on our monkey mind, and our body's constricted and we don't really feel it. And you forgot one more thing that you're doing this week. You're getting ready for your private retreat where 2 of my dear friends and clients are coming too. So
I'm running a retreat for 4 days starting tomorrow in my home, because we thought this would be ready. So yeah, just a few little things going on.
I just wanted to remind you of that.
That'll be the easiest thing I do, because I love being in the work and Level 3 is very much about the somatic experience, as you know, and you're saying you can feel it in the body. You can feel when there's resistance. You can feel when there's I don't usually talk so fast because I know we only had 20 minutes, but it's like I can still feel the flow and the being and the receiving. But the body's it's got habits. It's what it habitually closes, it habitually constricts. So if we work on opening it, it's going to affect the mind, it's going to affect the receptivity. So all those three things, they have to go together. If you're just working on your mindset and nothing else, or mindset and spirituality, but not on the body, you're going to be stuck for a while or longer than you need to be.
Yeah, and those TT3 events are so good about it. The unwinding that you were talking about, they really are amazing in that direction. So I knew this was going to be a very short time, Rachel Jane. I knew I wanted to share a lot more, and I thought it was amazing everything that you shared for our audience. And I'm sure everybody's going to take at least a little nugget, a little piece, if not a big one, that they can get implemented in their business today. And I just want to really, really thank you for being with us today. This is our show. And I want to thank our viewers for watching us. And just know that we will have this repeated. You can listen to it as many times as you need to. You can do the practice of receiving, right? As many times as you'd like to with anything that you listen or see around you. It's been my pleasure to be here today as your host. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday and week. And see you